Hello everyone, I am Likita and I am going to explain recursion. Introduction to recursion. First of all, what is recursion? It is a programming technique where a function calls itself to solve a problem, and it breaks a complex problem into smaller and simpler subproblems. It is an alternative to iteration or loops. The next one is key components of a recursive function. Base case. It is a condition that stops the recursion, preventing infinite loops. The next one is recursive case. It is the part of the function that calls itself with the modified or smaller input. How recursion works on memory allocation. Each recursive call creates a new stack frame in memory. Each stack frame stores the function's local variables, parameters, and return address. Frames are popped off the stack as each function call returns. Example: factorial calculation. In this, we should show pseudocode or actual code for calculating factorial using recursion. Advantages and disadvantages of recursion. Advantages: elegant solutions for some problems. Example: power of Hanoi. Easier to write for certain algorithms. Disadvantages: uses more memory or stack space. Can be slower, difficult to trace or debug. Example program to find factorial. Documentation section to find the factorial of given number using recursion. Preprocessor. Hashtag include stdio.h. Hashtag include conio.h. Function declaration int factorial of int x. And the main section starts here. First we should initialize variable n and fact. Clear screen. The next statement is printf, enter the value for n. And the next one is scanf, %d, ampersand n. Next we should initialize fact is equals to factorial of n. This is function calling. And the next statement is printf, factorial of %d is %d, where this %d is n and this is fact. And the main section closes here. Function definition, int factorial of int x. And the user defined section starts here. If statement starts here. If x is equals to 0, return 1. Next, here if statement closes. The next statement is return x into factorial of x minus 1. And the user defined section closes here. If we give output n is equals to 4, then it will print factorial is equals to 24. Introduction to storage classes. Storage class determines the variable storage location, default initial value, scope and lifetime. There are 4 types in C or C++. First one is auto, register, static, extern. First one, automatic. Keyword, auto or often optional, default for local variables. Storage, memory or stack. Scope, local or within the block where defined. Lifetime, created when the block is entered, destroyed when the block is existed. Registers. The second one is register, in which keyword is register. Storage, CPU registers or if available, faster access. Default value is garbage value. Scope, local, within the block. Lifetime, same as auto. Note: the compiler may ignore the request if registers are full. cannot get the address of a register variable. Static. In this, keyword is static and storage will be memory, in which data segment not stack. Default value will be 0 by the compiler. Scope. Local to the block or function where defined internal static or file scope, external static, lifetime. Persists for the duration of the entire program, retaining its value between function calls. External or extern. Here, the keyword is extern, storage, memory, or data segment. In this, default value is 0. Scope, global. In the brackets, visible throughout all program files. Lifetime, duration of the entire program. The note point is it declares a variable defined elsewhere used for sharing global variable across multiple source files. Summary will be a table comparing all 4 classes across keyword, storage, location, default value, scope, lifetime. Scope of variables. Definition of scope. Scope. The region of a program from which a variable can be accessed is known as scope. Scope prevents name collisions and improves modularity. There are two primary types: local scope, global scope. Local scope or block scope, in which variables declared inside a function or a specific block only accessible within that block. Here, lifetime is limited to the block's execution. Example, a variable I declared within a for loop. And the next one is global scope or file scope. Global scope is where in which variables declared outside of any function, usually at the beginning of the program, here accessible from anywhere in the program across multiple functions or files. In this, lifetime is the duration of the entire program. Thank you.